in Atlanta. She took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Getting the licks in the van. Legacies.
Let's get this thing started off here right. Making sure this mic's working. Let's double check real quick here, guys. Mic check. Mic's on. Yeah. I see why I'm not hearing it. Hold on. 1 second. There we go. Now I got volume. Hello. Happy Tuesday. It's a great day. Beautiful day. Tuesday, another day above ground. What is there to complain about? Thank you guys for being here today with me on the variety show, The Jump Off. We're going to talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm going to show some cards off here. I'm going to take my medication. Give me just a moment. Big shout out to grassrootskc.com and grassrootskc 420 label and Prohibition for sponsoring the show. Not monetarily, of course, but they got my back. And I got theirs. So, big shout out to Grassroots KC. Go ahead and go to grassrootskc.com. Use my code MAX, M-A-X, the number 1010. Get 10% off each and every purchase, each and every time you go shop. Anybody that wants to is more than welcome to join in at any time they would like and just hop on aboard. And besides that, if you haven't done so already, as much as I hate plugging myself, but hit that like, subscribe, share, and notify. It really does help the channel. It helps me. It helps growth. And if I'm going to be doing this, then I'm going to need more support. And I really do appreciate all 32 subscribers and counting. So thank you very much. It means a lot to me. It means a great deal to me. It means everything to me. You guys are like family, but I'll treat you better than family. Or just as good. So either way, you're not getting fucked. Not like that. Let me pull up my other tools here. And I am on the StreamYard. Nothing against Rumble. If you want to find OBS software that will cost you nothing, you could either go to OBS Studio, which is completely free. With a little tech savvy and a little bit of know-how, you could set things up however you want, stream to whatever destination you want, and be perfectly fine with it. It just takes a little bit more time. Rumble Studio, I can't say anything bad about Rumble Studio. I was using it there for a little bit until I got the terms or came to terms with StreamYard. So, like I said, it's one of those things that if you want to do this, you want to get into streaming, whether you're streaming video games or you're streaming, just talking about stuff, makes no difference. Use those two tools. I believe in them. I've used them myself. They work fine. They've, none of them are perfect. Not StreamYard, not Restream, not any of them. Not Rumble Studio, not OBS Studio. The OBS Studio, you could do so much customization to it. If you are super tech savvy, then you'll be able to fly through it and do all kinds of cool stuff more than you can with the resources that you have if you get the subscription to StreamYard, for example. But there again, I can't say anything bad about StreamYard because they understood and they listened to myself, the customer, the consumer, the one that is keeping you in business by purchasing your product. And you got to be able to make sure that your product is not only top quality, but you got to make sure that it's affordable. If it's not affordable, then no one's going to buy it. People Unless there's money trees in your backyard, it's not cheap. From what it was to where they have it now at nearly $100 a month from where it was before at 40. Basically, their core package price was their premium price. So they more than doubled it and then just made their core limited to 3 destinations. You're limited to a lot of different things. So just play with it. If it's something that you're into, something that you want to get into, something that you're all about, something that, if you want to be a news anchor, you want to be a broadcaster, or you just like to talk because there's nothing else for you to really do, and you got 30, 40 minutes you want to dedicate out of your day, then you know what? Why not? If you want to get heavy into it, then you start getting, more sophisticated equipment, do more editing, get into the editing software portion of it, start making actual videos, which, I'm taking myself through the steps on how to do it, because though it doesn't seem like a difficult thing, and to a degree it really isn't, it does require some work to be put in. So it's a lot more than just clipping something from one place, pasting it onto another, and then making it work. You got to make it flow. You got to make it look good, because that's kind of where YouTube is headed. Unless you're in a format like myself, to where this is a variety show. I'm going on live. I'm not even getting paid to do this. I don't, I'm doing this on my own dime because I can, due to circumstance. We're not going to talk about those circumstances. Can't talk about them as of yet, but in the future we will. In the meantime, what we do is we hope, we pray for the best, we live life, we do what we can, and I'm thankful to be able to sit here upright instead of having ice on my knees right now. So thank God. You guys always hear me when I don't have the mic or the camera on me. It's not because I'm camera shy. It's that there's no reason that anyone wants to see me ice my knee. No. You know what? The one thing we were missing was the background music, and let's get that going. It sounded too quiet. Makes you nervous. We can do the Mad Max song. Maybe we'll do it later. Right now, we'll do this. Yeah. Got the newsroom back there. Yeah. The other thing about StreamYard, I'll tell you, is the fact that I've already am invested in it since I've been using it for, I don't know, the last year and a half. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. But the other thing is, it's got everything right where I need it. Everything's boom right there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that? You
have hey, when you tell it like it is, that's what happens. You be honest, you're transparent. I don't know anybody more transparent than that. Since I've been here for nearly 50 years, I haven't had a president go on camera say any shit like that before. But that's why you got to be like that. That's why I think a lot of people can relate to it. I don't care that he uses foul language. That doesn't bother me a bit. Some people say it's a sign of intellect and intelligence. Maybe that's true. Maybe if you use foul language when you curse, you big dummy, whatever. If that's the case and you believe that to be true, good for you. I like to use foul language. Do I use it around like small kids? No. But would I use it around anybody here watching? Absolutely, just like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. This is America. If this is the first time that you've heard foul language and it's coming from me or the president, then hey, welcome to motherfucking America, bitch.
I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. One of the best singers, one of the best looking motherfuckers you've ever seen. Hold my drink, bitch.
Hold my drink, motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys. I do. Means a great deal. If you want, feel free to hop in at any time, comment, or jump in. It's an interactive show, and it will be always. That'll never change, and I will never ask anyone for a single fucking thing. I won't ask you for donations. I won't ask you for fucking PayPal or Venmo or any of that shit. You know what? The only thing I'll ask is right here what it says. Subscribe and like on YouTube. You can go to Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever the hell, Instagram. I'm monetized on them shits. But I don't think X because I took money away from Elon. So Elon might be mad because I'm not paying his bitch ass to be on his platform. I'm just going to be a regular person on his platform, and whoever wants to follow can follow. I don't care about that blue check mark bullshit. Kick, I'm new to, so I appreciate that. Rumble's been good to me. I appreciate all you rumblers. Get out there, Tiger. You know what I'm talking about? Someone let the lion out of the cage. Oh, yeah. That's going to happen.
I'm going to fuck you till you die.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's real talk. That's real shit. I'll tell you what. I told you guys we're going to look at sports cards, and I meant it. And that's what we're going to do. So, who's ready to look at some sports cards? Now, I don't know if you guys can see that. Behind me, I got... there's still a bunch to open. There's a lot. Like, let's drop something. But hey, we'll put that up here too. Like I said, I started opening them up already just because I realized that there's a shit ton. And if I sit here and try to open them all up while I'm on air, I'm going to be here for fucking 3 days. So let's talk about what I collect before we start looking at all the different cards. I think everything just dropped out. I don't want anything falling. I don't need any damaged goods here. I don't think I can return any of these. This is what I've been for so fucking long. Alright, this one dropped out. So what do we got here? Oh, look at that. Patty Mahomes. It's a 2018. That's second year prestige Mahomes. Is it numbered? Is there anything special about it? No. Just his first actual starting season. Mahomes. I do collect Mahomes. I collect Mahomes. When it comes to football, it's a quarterback's league. And there's players you like. If you're collecting football cards, I'm not going to give you any advice or tell you who or what to collect or how to collect, do any of that stuff. That's not my job. You collect however you want. You collect baseball, you collect basketball, you like hockey, you like soccer, you like whatever you like, collect it. Just do it. Just do it within your means. That's difficult nowadays because they don't make sports cards affordable like they used to, which is one thing that really kind of rubs me the wrong way when it comes to the hobby, because I think it should be fun, but I also think it, kind of like I said earlier, the product needs to be able to be affordable. If it's not affordable, yeah, people still buy it, but wouldn't you rather have more people in the hobby and get invested in the hobby to buy more product if it was more affordable? It's readily available. Hell, they sell it at GameStops and everything from what I was reading earlier. So it's not like sports cards are getting any less popular. You just had the Fanatics Fest where even Josh Harris, the owner of a bunch of shit, bought a $500,000 basketball card. So, yeah, clearly people are willing to spend money on cards. Hell, I'm surrounded by the motherfuckers. I'm serious. You guys think there's hundreds of thousands, if not more, of cards, graded, slabbed, sorted, unopened from, I still got some 86 Fleer basketball sealed on one of these shelves here. I've got at least, I'm not going to stand up and walk around because it's not that simple, but yeah, so much stuff. But I don't sell cards. I don't sell cards. I sold one card one time. I was living in Florida still. A young man, many moons ago. Living in Florida. When I was in Florida, I lived in Castleberry, Altamont Springs, and I lived in Longwood. And through my, I want to say probably 7th, 8th grade. Yeah, 7th, 8th grade. And then a couple years of high school. So then went up to Georgia, lived in Atlanta, lived in Norcross, went to Meadow Creek High School there. In Florida, I went to Lake Brantley High School and Rock Lake Middle School and South Seminole Middle School. And then Georgia, just Meadow Creek, and I played football there in high school at Brantley and in Florida, and then Meadow Creek in Georgia and Atlanta. And then came back to the Midwest because my father, he had reacquired some of his property. This was in the, I want to say 94, 93, 94. Moved back here and did my junior year in Kansas and my senior year in Kansas, but a different high school. So I went to like a different high school every year, which, whatever. It is what it is. But I graduated from I went to Shawnee Mission South, and then I graduated from Blue Valley Northwest. It gave me like 30 minutes heads up notice that I was going to make it. Not because I was slow or anything, but, you know, the formal school structure was never really something that I completely agreed with. I wasn't all that interested in the things that they were trying to teach, so I'd go learn on my own, if that makes sense. Made sense to me, shit. And from then, I became an adult. I was an adult already. I moved out when I was 16 because I didn't get along with my old man. You know, my mom and my dad drank like fucking. My dad, he still drinks. My mom, she passed away back in 2000, but she had just started to stop drinking, if that makes sense, before she passed. And yeah, I moved out when I was still a young guy. So yeah, I was on my own, and I was able to make something of myself because I worked hard, and I knew how to work hard from my dad, because when we came here from the Soviet Union back in the early 80s, I'm from Moscow originally. Я говорю по-русски, я понимаю по-русски без проблем, я лучше говорю, чем мои друзья. Я могу лучше понимать, чем я говорю. If you understand Russian, then you'll know what I just said. If you don't, then basically I said I can speak Russian and read and understand Russian just as well as I can English. So, без проблем. It's no problem. But unless I told you, you probably never know. Growing up, it was different, though. Coming here in the 80s when we had Reagan, man, it was wild. Nobody liked Russians. Not like a whole lot's changed, but it was even worse then, because at that point we were the evil empire. The Cold War was still, you know, it wasn't thawing yet. It wasn't thawing. And it's crazy. We were traded for grain. Yeah, that's correct, for grain. There was a grain shortage in the Soviet Union, in the Ukraine to be exact. My dad, he's from Kiev. I'm from Moscow, and he still considers himself Russian. And a lot of Ukrainians or people in the Ukraine still do. Hopefully that shit show's just about over and done with. Is tired of wars, tired of the nonsense. You know, I think Trump said it best when he said it, that enough's enough. What the fuck? And I think the transparency could be much appreciated by anyone around the world. I mean, fuck. Stop. You know what? You stay over here. You stay over here. It's like you got to play a daycare or a dad to these other people. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely wild. But, you know, hopefully peace will last, though I have my doubts, and that's just because I've seen it through the entirety of my life. But that is what it is. But anyway, yeah, I got traded for grain originally because the shortage in the Ukraine, the Soviet Union at that time, and being Jewish, always difficult in the Soviet Union, and maybe now in current Russia. Unless you don't say anything, you'll be fine. Just don't worry about it. Unless you look like you're Evreysky, which is Jewish in Russian, or Evrey, then whatever. My daddy always tells me, you look Jewish. I'm like, I really don't know what that means, but all right, I appreciate it. Thanks, Pop. You look Jewish too. So, being persecuted as Jews, we were able to be traded for grain, and it was a deal between the United States, Israel, and the former Soviet Union. So for the persecuted peoples, they got grain in return, and then we were shipped literally to Italy, from Italy to Israel, and then from Israel we had a choice. We could stay in Israel, we can go to Africa, we can go to Australia, we can go to Canada, we can go to the United States, we can go to Mexico, go stay here in Israel, go back to communist Russia if you wanted to. And a lot of people, believe it or not, they decided to go to Canada because they were worried that it would be difficult for them in America. So they went to Canada, a lot of them. In Canada being set up the way it is, they felt like it would be easier for them to acclimate themselves into society and to assimilate a lot easier and be able to make it. But that, did it happen that way necessarily? A lot of them have and had good lives. I know my dad, he's visited there when he was younger, and maybe not so much here within the last 5 or so years, but a lot of Canadian friends that he has still in Canada. But fortunately for myself, my mother, his mom, and my dad, he made the decision of coming here to the United States. And by God, it was the greatest decision he's ever made. And we live in the greatest country in the world, and I couldn't ask for anything more. I've got everything that I want and need here. I've got a beautiful wife and children that I love and love me back, and people that care about me and people that support me. So honestly, regardless how bad my situation personally may be due to disability, it's okay, because you got people around you that make it, they take a bad situation and make it better. All right. So, yeah. But in my past, before I was injured, etc., I had businesses. I owned a Goodyear with my dad for 10 years in Independence, Missouri. We still have some interests out there. And I owned some independent repair facilities and a repo business as well. So I had 5-6 records at one point in time, and then got rid of everything, sold everything, had our second child, and then spent a lot of time raising children. I spent a lot of time being a dad, and it was awesome. It was great. I did work also on the side, and then came out of retirement, and yeah. But that's all I could say about anything when it comes to that for now. We'll talk about that later. Right now, let's look at some more cards. The one that fell out looks like I got a few of them. Yeah, that's Sharif Abdul-Rahim. The reason I got the Sharif Abdul-Rahim, these are, they were Topps Gold label. I think I got there's 2 in there. But Kobe's right there. I also collect Kobe. I'm a big fan of Kobe. Kobe is in my top 10. Who's not in my top 10? LeBron. Who's not in my top 15? LeBron. Who's not in my top 20? LeBron. Is it because I hate LeBron? No. There's 2 more of those Topps Gold label. Look at that. Oh, Luke Longley rookie. Look at that. Look at that young stud there, huh? Leave some pussy for the rest of us, huh, killer? You know what I'm saying? The Australian, I loved watching him play. He's a lovable guy. I remember watching him in The Last Dance and then on other interviews. Very funny guy, very humble. He seems like the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with because he seems like a really cool dude. Speaking of cool things to do and cool dudes, other than Luke Longley and myself and all you guys, grassrootskc.com, max 10, save 10% every time, all the time. I'm not lying. And if for some reason, for any reason, for whatever reason, you're not happy, you're not satisfied, we'll give your money back. Boom. Just like that. If they don't, I'll give you money back. I'll take money out of the pockets that I don't have on my stretch pants and give them to you. That's right. Usually you'll see me with a shirt in the pocket, but I'm not wearing my pocket shirt. I'm wearing Jimi Hendrix right there. It's greatest left-handed guitarist you'll ever see. Jimi Hendrix. If you're too young to know who that is, look him up. Next, we have a Marquise Noel autograph. Rookie. I don't know how he's not playing. Starting. This man's handles were so ridiculous in high school, college when he was playing for K-State. Him and Keontae Johnson, who I believe was drafted by the Thunder. Whether or not he's still on there, I don't remember. He might have been downgraded, just like Poku. I have to check on that. That's a good question. We'll find out. Here is Jordan with Kobe. This is a upper deck. I want to say it's out of the 98 set that came out. MJ. Of course, I collect MJ cards. But I collect MJ and Kobe also. Here's another one. This one's the 05 Fleer Hoops. Kobe, MJ. The main cards that I collect, what I like, basketball, football, but I've got tons of baseball. I got hockey. And we got here Hardwood of the Houdini. Here's an autograph out of 10,000. Bob Cousy, Beckett. Yeah, Mr. Cousy. You want to talk about a man with some handles. Cousy was that guy. It looks like a big bunch of Chiefs cards. Let's see. Usually I go on for a half hour, but today might be a little bit more. There's my Mahomes bang. That's a 19. That's an 18 secondary prism. Here's that one. There's a 21. Mahomes bang. There's a 18 prism second year. Shorter print runs on these, so his actual first year as a starter, the rookie year is 2017. Here's another bang. This one's 2022 instead of a 21. Also Mahomes. This one, is that an 18? Yeah, 18. This is a, was it Sage? Yeah, Sage Mahomes. You know what? Say what you will about Sage or Leaf. I don't have any issue with them. Here's Ozuma rookie, green prism rookie. Pretty cards. Look nice. Do you collect the player or do you collect the card? I collect the player, not the card. There's a Brian Cook rookie as well. Optic. Yeah. Some more Kobe stuff here. Some StarQuest. StarQuest Kobe. Blue, green, and red. And of course, if you can find a gold, which is, they're probably going for, I think it's, last one I saw was probably 4,000. I could be off on that though. A little more than I want to spend on a StarQuest. Jason Williams. The guy should look familiar. He was a good player. Wasn't a bad player. He did, however, this is the die cut. This is a 99, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 99 auto. 99 auto. I buy a lot of autos. If anything anymore, I'm buying autos. The majority of everything I'm buying is autos. But he actually shot his limo driver and then made it look, or tried to stage it as an accident. He ended up getting caught. Went to prison for a while, got out, stayed out of trouble since. Genuinely, I feel that he does feel sorry for what happened. And yeah, crazy story if you've never heard it. True story. What we got here? Here's a Ricky Irvins. This one is a 91. If you don't know who Ricky Irvins was, he was one of the coldest running backs. This one says for the Chiefs, but the Chiefs never had him. He played, and yeah, here's the auto of him. Here's a Ricky Irvins rookie auto. And he played for Redskins. And that year in 91, when he was a rookie, he was one of the coldest running backs I'd ever seen. He reminded me so much of Barry Sanders. It wasn't even funny. If you can find any highlights of Ricky Irvins, he was fun to watch. That year for the Redskins, if anybody's that old and remembers, Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, and Gary Clark. Oh, man. Yeah, Mark Rippon was the quarterback that year. They were stacked. They beat the Bills, of course, but everybody beat the Bills for 4 years straight. Yeah, but that was a great beatdown against the Bills. Mark Rippon had a great season that year. And after that, really haven't seen much of the Redskins. That was kind of their, the end of their, 91. That was, I can't think of the Redskins ever really coming back and being anywhere near as dominant as they have been the last time they were in the Super Bowl and won it against Buffalo. It's been a while, but now they're not the Redskins, they're the commies. What do we got here? Look at that. Mr. Bryce Young, Optic, Contender, winning ticket. Looks like a bunch of Bryce Young cards, to be honest with you. Take a look here. Pop this one open. I appreciate you guys and gals. When I say guys, it's a generic term. So I'm encompassing male and female when I say guys. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, a bunch of Bryce Young rookies. We got a Select Supercharged. We got a Prison Break. This one is it's Topps Chrome. I wouldn't have bought that personally, but it's not because it's not licensed. It's just because I don't know why. But I do like the winning tickets one. That Optic one's pretty cool looking. It's a nice looking card. Bryce Young. Coming into his own, he's going to be just fine. I was reading earlier that Anthony Richardson, hoping to be back. Shoulders feeling good. We'll see what happens. He's had a rough start to his young career. Staying healthy is something that, kind of important. Kind of a big deal. What do we got here? More Bryce Young rookie stuff. Another lot of Bryce Young rookie stuff. Another big ass lot of Bryce Young rookie stuff. Oh, there's Timmy Smith. Another Redskins quarterback. Here's a Timmy Smith auto. He had the record for rushing yards in the Super Bowl, which I believe has been broken since then. But then he also had a problem with cocaine. Go figure. He wasn't able to make it in the NFL for all that long, but when he was at his best, he was at his best. And he was, if you can find some highlights of Timmy Smith, they're worth watching. Definitely. More Bryce Young rookies. Oh, look at that old John Taylor. John Taylor flashback auto number. Flashback green prism. John Taylor, 49ers receiver. Bunch of Sam Goon stuff. I remember that. There's another Kobe record breakers. I picked that up. I don't remember when. There's a Sangoon rookie. Got a bunch of Sangoon auto stuff. But yeah, there's a Sangoon, just regular rookie. There's a couple Kobe's. One's a SP, and the other one's a Fleer. Here's that Fleer. One's an 02, and the other one is 2000. So the upper deck's a 2000, and then the other one's an 02. So yeah, love the Kobe. Love for Kobe. A lot of love for Kobe. It was a lot of fun to watch. Say what you will about him. There's another Kobe. Next wave. Let's see. I got a 96 Pacific Kobe rookie. SGC graded. And then I got a 97. Is that a Catalyst? Yeah. Catalyst. Graded 8.5 SGC. Oops, sorry. And some black diamond stuff. From upper deck Kobe. I will get this other camera set up, and I can just, it definitely would be much quicker. Eddie Johnson for the Kings. Eddie Johnson for the Kings right there. Autograph, die cut. Out of 325, yeah? Numbered out of 325. What do we got here? And then this Eddie Johnson with its COA auto is Eddie Johnson, the murderer from the NBA. Yeah. That Eddie Johnson. The other Eddie Johnson, not a killer. This Eddie Johnson, killer. Pretty sure. Because there were two Eddie Johnsons. There was Fast Eddie Johnson and Eddie Johnson. So we don't want to get the ones confused. But there's another Sangoon lot here. No autos in this one, I'm pretty sure, because all rookies are Sangoon in here without the autos. And then I picked up some Brian Williams autos, since he always had a good story behind him and nobody ever really found his body. But Brian Williams, there's two of them, and another two autographed. I can't stretch my hand like that, I'm sorry. More autos. So I got four of the Brian Williams / Bison Dele, you might know him as. Won a championship with the Bulls in the 90s, went on, got a big contract with the Pistons, decided instead he was going to go live his best life. And he bought a boat called the Hakuna Matata, took him and his girl, and sailed around the world. He also had a crazy-ass twin brother. And his crazy-ass twin brother showed up when they were in, what was it? I want to say it was in Tahiti. And got on with them. And next thing you know, he comes back by himself, without his brother, without his brother's girl, without anybody. And then he tries to take out money out of his brother's account, since they did look alike. They were twins, but they weren't identical twins, though they did have many similar features. But you could definitely tell them apart. And yeah, I guess he ended up passing away before he could tell anybody what happened, whether it was slew or slide, also known as suicide, or whether it was a diabetic event, whether he got into a diabetic coma. I don't remember the exact circumstances. I'll have to refresh the old memory banks. I don't remember. This is the last card in that first stack, and it was Thunder Dan, and it's got Tim Hardaway. But it was a card that at one point I wanted and I bought it. And if you never watched Thunder Dan or Tim Hardaway, you should go back and look at some old footage of these guys. They were ballers, yes. Thunder Dan, Tom Chambers, white guys. They were good. Don't believe me? Go see for yourself. Don't call me a liar. I wouldn't make this up. I wouldn't buy shitty. I do buy things like that, like, you know, killers and things like that were sports figures. Like I got a bunch of autos of OJ, Hernandez, who else? Critterton, fuck. You know, or guys that got killed, like Brian Daly, cards with stories behind them, you know, kind of like the Mark Jackson Menendez brothers card that's making a comeback. All of a sudden, everybody wants the Mark Jackson Menendez brothers card. Like, I'm like, man, I've got so many fucking Mark Jackson Menendez brothers cards, it's not even funny. Anyway, here we got another 2018 Patty Mahomes. Quality looking card. Like I said, I can't say anything bad about the Sage. Yeah, you know what?